contact, or if you can hear us, if you're in shouting distance,
right,
and you know that we're doing good, come on by 2140 McCullough, drop something in the bucket, say, here, brothers, we appreciate what you're doing.
That's right.
We're not going to waste that money.
Yes, sir.
We ain't got no spinning wheels out there.
That's right.
We ain't got no.
Drop it.
I'm not flossing with no jewelry on right now.
Put it on our community, put it on our children, put it on ourselves. They'll be putting it on the horses tomorrow.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? How about putting it on those that look like you rather than putting it on an animal or putting it on a thing? Put it invested in our future, man. Otherwise, your future is going to divest in you because you never invested in them. So that's important that we have to do that. As we begin to wrap up, again, tomorrow, time, place, location, where the UYIP African Marketplace will be taking place once again, brother.
2140 McCullough Street from 1 to 7 p.m. We have the African Marketplace and the UYIP Fish Fry fundraiser every third Saturday of the month. 2140 McCullough Street from 1 to 7 p.m. If you have any questions or any special needs, you can reach out to Brother Kulu, 443-683-5999. One more time, that's 443-683-5999.
Yes, sir. And go ahead, Brother Lionel. I want to come back to Brother Haru before we begin to wrap up.
Again, participation, people. Participation. That's all we need for us to move to that next step and get further on beyond on our path to glory.
Yes, sir.
Participation.
That's right. Again, family, just tune it in. Having a conversation with two of the brothers of UYIP. And, of course, as I'm shouting them out, I want to shout out, man, to, of course, everyone's place not too far from UYIP. And, of course, our brother Nati and all the family with the great work that they continue to do. Talk about that, brother, because, of course, one of the things that brother has represented in terms of being a quiet giant and the work that he's continued to do in the city of Baltimore in terms of, again, blackonomics and oftentimes not recognized by those with the black chambers of commerce, those running around talking about Black Wall Street, Black Charles Street, or anything else.
Right.
But here's a brother that's been in business, man, I believe for well over 20 years now. And, again, willing to share his knowledge and his wisdom of understanding with other young brothers and sisters coming up at a time when black bookstores aren't popular anymore, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So talk about that, brother.
Being with Precise Science and touring around the country, we get to see the pockets of the African conscious communities all around the United States. And wherever we went, whatever black store we went into, they knew who Brother Nati was.
Yes, sir.
Brother Nati and his family represent an institution of the highest order.
Yes.
Because not only are they a black business thriving and doing the things, but they contribute to a lot of other black businesses and other black organizations and keep them afloat.
That's right.
And you know what? We don't need no Black Chamber of Commerce to honor them. We need to come up with something and honor them.
Right. Yes, sir.
And honor him specifically.
Yes.
And, if it is the 20th anniversary, shame on us for not having something already planned and in the works.
That's right.
And I'm glad you brought that to my attention because I'll take it on myself if I have to. Because you think about what he represents in terms of the just the knowledge that he's making sure is preserved.
Yes, sir.
He's he represents that archive.
Like archives, brother.
We
our
have
museums,
the African
our
Awareness
libraries,
and Critical Thinking Study class, where I can attribute a lot of my evolution and
many of us
coming
right there, brother.
And because the source of the books are right there.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And all the other knowledge that he has encompassed in that little, that small place, everyone's place.
That's right. Timbuktu on North Avenue.
Timbuktu
we call it Nile Valley, brother. Nile Valley Avenue right there,
listen.
man.
And the model. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And just the epitome of humility as well.
Right. That's
you would never know the worlds and all the nations that hold this brother in high regard.
That's right.
By the way he walks down the street and addresses you and takes every request that comes his way.
That's right.
We have to show our appreciation for that Bible.
Yes, sir.
He's a like you said, a quiet giant. He's a
powerful
powerful entity, and he's a model to be followed.
That's
if
right.
anything, we need to find a way to get him in front of the youth.
That's right.
To so they can learn from him.
Yes, sir. That's right.
And pick up those qualities and those skills and those methods that we need to perpetuate into the future.
That's right. And he started the same way that many will be out there tomorrow at the African Marketplace.
That's right.
He started right on the streets.
That's
you know what I mean? Not in the suites, but he started in the streets.
We got to take those steps.
Yes, sir. Talk about, brother, before we wrap up, man. Of course, as I mentioned, you and of course the brothers with Precise Science. And how you are a evolution, second generation of Public Enemy. And I was honored to see our brothers inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and had a conversation with Brother Professor Griff and see how they were introduced and recognized by one of our elders again. and the great Harry Belafonte. So talk about Public Enemy and, again, the evolution of Public Enemy, and then, again, stopping and recognizing the gift of Public Enemy in the golden age of hip-hop and the golden age of rap in terms of, again, activists who became artists.
Yeah, well, Professor Griff has become quite the friend and brother to Precise Science and to myself personally. And we were very honored that when he was interviewed before the induction into the Hall of Fame ceremony, that he mentioned us amongst those carrying the torch of, what Public Enemy represents. Public Enemy, to me, right around that same time, even before, they introduced me to Malcolm and Khalid.
Yes, sir.
And,
That's right.
Minister Farrakhan at a very young age, 12, 13 years old. When I was, barely in the know of those things.
Yes, sir.
Coming up in the D.C. area,
right.
Just to hear them, it was life-changing,
Right.
And, to see that they carry that legacy on for 20 years, the bumps and bruises, the ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
But, they're also an institution and a representation of what we were talking about, the artistry representing the movement, the artistry coming from the movement,
right.
the artistry being held accountable by the movement.
Yes, sir.
And we constantly keep ourselves in company of those elders that paved the way. We have an event May 25th, next Saturday,
yes,
with Baba Umar of the Last Poets.
Yes, sir. Where's that taking place?
I wish I do have the address. It's on Liberty Heights.
So we'll make sure we
Liberty Heights Avenue.
Yes, sir.
I'll call in and make sure we have that before next Saturday.
Yes, sir.
At Brother Heru's
yes, sir.
institution there.
Right.
In the basement there.
Okay.
But May 25th,
right.
I think it starts at 7 p.m. But we always keep ourselves in the presence of those because we need that. We need that
right.
elders' guidance. We
That's
need
right.
to know what came before us, what they experienced. Just sitting at the feet of Baba Umar, he had stories upon stories of all the trials and tribulations, all the
That's right.
he talked he real close to Gil Scott Heron and all all the
yes,
things
sir.
that he was going through.
Right.
It's important that we always have that guidance and that leadership.
Yes.
No matter what endeavor that we're going in.
That's right.
And especially when it comes to artistry, because we consider ourselves the oral historians.
Yes, sir.
And the oral history is as important, if not more important, than the written history.
That's right.
And it has to be accurate.
Yes, sir.
So we're constantly asking to be checked and
right.
making sure that what we're bringing out is helpful to the people.
Yes, sir. Again, Fabi, just tuning in, getting ready to conclude our conversation with the brothers of UYIP. Don't forget tomorrow, if you want to support them and supporting them, you're supporting us and, of course, supporting the children. Then the African Marketplace is taking place tomorrow, 12 noon. I know they say 1, but we're saying 12 noon and go until 6 p.m. 7 p.m. So, again, you can pre-order your meals. Give that phone number one more time, brother, where brothers can call and sisters can call and listeners can call. Because I know the state of the city, as the brothers have said, sisters have shared with me, if nobody else responds, the state of the city listeners are always responding. Is that right?
State of the city is always on point. We love the state of the city crowd.
Yes, sir.
The phone number for contacting us is 443-683-5999. Again, 443-683-5999. 5999, and that's Brother Kulu.
All right, so I thank all of you that tuned in today. We'll be back here tomorrow at 12 noon with the living legend, Baba Dick Gregory, as we continue. Yes, sir, to pay homage to, of course, our elder, the revolutionary and evolutionary Malcolm X, El Hajj Malik Al-Shabazz, and, of course, we'll get back into the death of our young brother, the grandson, firstborn grandson of Malcolm X, Malcolm Latif Shabazz, and much more for sure I'm going to get into. I'm going to hopefully have time to talk about some of these other things that's happening on a national level as well as on a local level. So to get a copy of the show, give me a call, 410-878-5298. We'll broadcast the show on Spreaker, on Facebook, as well as on Twitter. And once again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. I understand the engineer is on his way, so we may hopefully be able to have all the kinks worked out, have the problems resolved, so that we don't have any technical difficulties tomorrow. But until then, don't forget to support our sponsors, Terra Cafe at 25th and St. Paul, and, of course, Charm City Chicken and Waffle Restaurant right there at 807 Washington Boulevard. Support PM Diversified Tax Services. Give them a call, 410-367-5615. And the Black Man and Woman's Country Club. You know them as the barbershops and beauty salons. Lenny's House of Naturals, Park Heights Barbershop, the brothers down in the mall at Flair Hair, Brother Mill, Brother Cooper, Chubby Cubby, and all the brothers that keep it 100% real down there. Don't forget to support Brother Johnny at Johnny's G-Styles Barbershop, G-Styles Boutique, there on Duncan Street next to that Raggedy Market on Monument Street. But I thank all of you that tuned in today, and until tomorrow at 12 noon. God bless, all the best, and the rest of you and yours. Stay tuned for the Prayer and Faith Baptist Church coming up with Archbishop Kerry Robinson at 1 o'clock. And we definitely going to need a little prayer so we can get on the prayer line with these technical difficulties we've been having. But stay tuned for Prayer and Faith Baptist Church with Archbishop Kerry Robinson. Till tomorrow at 12 noon. God bless. All the best, and the rest of you and yours. We up out of here. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
We kept the front door open and locked overnight. We had families, we started businesses, and now we act like we don't know what the business is. Smell that? I smell slavery amongst us. Gotta wake up and protect all the youngsters. Can't let the European paradigm puncture the minds of our youth, or they'll get used to SpongeBob, Desperate Housewives, and Oprah. Supposed to be evolving, but stuck on the sofa.
Instead of in a movement where we supposed to be, instead of getting free like Mumia and UYIP, we got ladies for days and days, you see. No Malcolm C is still on vacancy. Black children are lost and can't remember facts when they can't tell you about the freedom fighter Jacksons, but they can tell you about the Simpsons and the Jetsons. Before integration and lethal weapon, we was two-stepping to the sounds of the drum. Africa, y'all know where I'm from. Black law, y'all, where my college at? This the showdown, we bringing Del Jones back. RBG love, man, we need to show that. Besides JB and the net, man, that's a rap.
Way before Be More became a place of ignorance. Before disaster and crack, these crackers placed in it. Before we lived in a space that had this unity. We lived in villages, then we had communities. This individualism, it wasn't relevant. You need some bricks and some sugar, you know I'm borrowing. But now my people walk around like they the walking dead. But we reversing the cycle, yo, I'm a conscious head. Heaven on earth, tell the city, yo, we creating that. I know my karmas, they with me, precise and sons of man.